Last week versus Mercyhurst, this Peter Lallet 6-yard touchdown pass to Blake Williamson tied the game with seconds left in regulation. In overtime, Jeff Knox scored the game-winning touchdown, keeping Cal U's playoff hopes alive. Last year's game versus IUP in Cole Bowl 2, it was also settled in overtime with a Cal victory. This year in Cole Bowl 3, both teams have a lot at stake as they battle for a spot in the NCAA Division II playoffs. From snowy George Miller Stadium in Indiana, Pennsylvania, the home of IUP, welcome to Cal Vulcan football. Today's game, the Vulcans on the road against the Crimson Hawks of Indiana. Good afternoon, I'm Stan Savran, along with Paul Alexander. We welcome you to the 84 Lumber broadcast booth. And coaches can be control freaks, but the one thing they cannot control is the weather. A surprise snowstorm. It should continue throughout the day. That's going to change the way the game is played. And Paul, being honest about it, Cal's offense, wide open spread, could be greatly affected by this weather.
Yeah, they're going to have to alter their approach, I think. I think the ball's going to be on the ground quite a bit, so they're going to have to be careful. They're going to have to convert in the red zone. As you can see, 21 of 38. That is not exactly what you're looking for. You need touchdowns in those situations. Lalich is having a great year. Not going to change the Cal U approach. Peter Lalich has looked good in warm-up. I guess he has big hands, Stan. That's a key on a day like today. Gripping that football is not going to be easy. I would not be surprised if we have numerous turnovers today just by virtue of that ball being so slippery. But Indiana is a grounded-out, pounded kind of football team, so they're going to feel right at home, I think, pounding the rock. But I would think that if things go a little bit crazy and askew for the Cal U offense, they might have to adjust a little bit. A spread is not exactly ideal on a day like today.
Well, just to give you an idea about how the two teams approach offensive football differently, Peter Lallich for Cal has thrown the football 293 times in 8 games. On the other hand, Pat Smith has thrown 104. So you get the idea that they are indeed a ground team. This is everything to both of these football clubs if they have any hope of making the Division II playoff, and that's still very much alive. The winner here has a chance. The loser today, Paul, has no chance.
No, not calling it a playoff game is actually a misnomer. This is indeed a playoff game for teams that aspire to be postseason teams. The winner continues forward in that direction. The loser is pretty much in the out-of-it club looking in. So, yeah, this should have a playoff-like atmosphere. And as much of a pain as it was to deal with the elements, I think it's going to make this game a lot more memorable for the participants. It's fun to be out there playing in this kind of slop.
Yeah, it's kind of backyard stuff, and there's a lot at stake. IUP won the opening toss. They elected to defer. They will kick off to both Trey Johnson and Mario Washington. That is Brett Ullman. Good kicker for IUP, and he'll do the honors as we get set to kick it off in Cole Bowl 3. Glad you're with us.
Pretty good kick in
Very
the conditions.
Good. Trey Johnson, he's hit hard and dropped down at the 20-yard line. Great special teams tackle coming down by Darryl Jones, number 11. Boy, he really nailed him on that.
If you want to set a tone, that's a way to do it. IUP got things started off in a very nice way.
Peter Lallich, of course, the key to the offense, but today it may be Lamont Smith. Lamont comes into today's game averaging 86 yards per game, 5.6 per carry, wide receivers, and there is the Cal offensive line. First down and 10 Cal, their own 20-yard line. Single setback, deep 7 yards is Lamont Smith. And we should get an idea of what the footing's like right away. Here's Lamont, nice hole off left tackle, across the 30 and out to the 32-yard line. And so, on first down, It's a gain of a little bit more than 10. That should be a first down. Here is the IUP defense. They run a 4-3, but the star linebacker, Terrell Washington, is a rover, and the secondary. Keep an eye on Carl Thornton inside. It is a first down, a gain of 11 yards for Lamont Smith. So that's a good start. We mentioned that, like Slippery Rock, IUP's rush defense is ranked nationally in Division II in NCAA, and they're ranked third in the PSAC, so they've been very difficult to run against.
Well, they just collapsed that left side, or excuse me, the right side of that IUP defense. The left side of the Cal U offensive line did a great job. I mean, that whole stand was huge, gaping for Lamont Smith to get that 12-yard gain and a first down.
Levi Pardee, left tackle, Devin Cox, the left guard, Eric Cush, and let's not forget the tight end. It's a gain of 11. It is first down and 10 Cal from their own 32-yard line, just underway. This time an I backfield behind Peter Lalich. Fumble the snap. And IUP's got it. There it is. Didn't take long. Second play from scrimmage, and the turnover on the fumbled snap. Recovering it was Akeem Smith. He's a sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Never got the ball up.
And that's going to be, I think, pretty prominent all day long, mishandling the football in these conditions. And you have had no previous experience this year in anything like this. So it's going to be a tough day handling the football, and that's certainly a big break for IUP.
At the 33-yard line of Cal. Cal now on the season is a -1 in turnover ratio. Harvey Tuck over his left guard, and there is absolutely nothing there, so no gain. Cal's defense against the rush be tested today. There is your front four. Steve Santia, the nose tackle. Thomas Malaba, who's been their best defensive lineman all season long. The linebacker, Spencer Lynn. Brian Justice was the PSAC Defensive Player of the Week last week, and there is the 5 defensive back set. Second down and 10. Smith has completed 58% of his passes this year, 6 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, but that's also a product of they don't throw the ball terribly often. Tuck again. Got more of a hole this time. Look at him drive. Driving inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a third down and 3 for IUP. Here's Pat Smith, Harvey Tuck. Dom Maggios from Pittsburgh is the blocking fullback. There are the wide receivers. And there's your offensive line, left to right. Byron Dovalis, he is one of the co-captains. And the starting lineups are brought to you by the Physical Therapy Institute.
Might recognize John Ditto, the tight end.
Yep.
Kid out of Gateway, went to Penn State and ended up matriculating here to IUP.
Third down and 3, Tuck in 4-down territory. He's hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss by Eric Harris. And he's dropped back to the 28. Now it'll be 4th down and 5. But again, I think, Paul, that IUP probably in 4-down territory there. Look at that play by Harris.
Yeah, that is a big-time defensive play. And you can get away with run blitz in a team like IUP. You got a pretty good idea of what they're going to do. You can shoot some linebackers in the direction of where you think the running play is going to go. You know, Tuck more than likely is going to get the ball, so you just come after him. And I would think, yes, Stan, kicking the ball in a day like today, that's going to be difficult as well.
Now, Allman is 7 out of 8 on field goal attempts, but we're talking here about a 45-yard field goal in this slop, and I think that's probably the most descriptive and best term that we can use.
Yeah, and I would imagine, you know, getting that plant foot down and set on a day like today, not a picnic.
Well, IUP and Kurt Cignetti, they're going to think it over. They've called a timeout, and so will we. When we come back, 4th and 5 for IUP, trying to take advantage of 5. Harvey Tuck alongside quarterback Pat Smith. Smith keeps. He's hit, and he's dropped for a loss back to the 30-yard line. So the Cal defense comes up very large. Marcus Cook, number 90, the first man in, the senior from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Stan, I like the play call, and Smith can run with it. He's been a very effective runner all season long. But when you get that kind of penetration that the Cal defense got right there, you're going to blow up any play. Misdirection is not going to matter when you have that kind of penetration.
And let's give a hats off, a tip of the cap to Steve Santia. He got the penetration and destroyed the blocker, which allowed Cook to get there. So the opening turnover on the second play of the game doesn't hurt Cal. And they take over on downs, 1st and 10. Lamont Smith looking to get outside. That's not going to be easy to do. There just isn't the footing to make that plan. He's lucky to get a yard or two across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's the famous, stick your foot in the ground and make a move. That's not easy today. There's no ground or traction to stick your foot. So you kind of have to tiptoe around the corner a little bit. Smith did turn the corner a bit, but he's going to pick up maybe a long one on the play.
Jerome McFadden, the corner, number 3 on the near side, made the stop. 2nd down and 8. Lalich changing the play. Under 10 on the play clock. Smith, hole off the left side, got room, and just tripped up near midfield. Had the tackle not been made by the ankle at the 45-yard line, Lamont Smith might still be running. Terrell Washington, the star back, the roving linebacker, saved the touchdown.
Yeah, gets 14 on the play. That's a nice job of cutting and just getting upfield. And Lamont Smith is a great north-south runner. Not a lot of dancing, not a lot of east-west stuff. He gets a hole and he goes.
Well, that's going to be something that plays into the hands of Harvey Tuck, too, because he's a big, strong back. And once you plant, you're not going to get a second chance to make a move. Smith again. Left guard. Powers his way, still on his feet, up to the 48-yard line, and they blow the play dead there. Let's give him a gain of 3. Make it 2nd and 2. Errol Brewster, defensive end, sophomore from Washington, D.C., makes the tackle. So Smith off to a good start. As I mentioned, he's averaging 86 yards per game, 5.6 per carry. It's kind of oddball. He only has 2 touchdowns this year. Of course, they've got a specialist.
They do, and Mr. Knox, he is that. But that's a good indication that this Cal offensive line getting off the ball well. That was just the surge of the line that got him 3. No real hole. He just went behind the O-line, and they had 3 yards, taking the D-line backwards.
Again, to change the line of scrimmage, inside handoff to Smith. Does a good job to dance his way into IUP territory to the 46, where it'll bring up 3rd and 1 inside linebacker, Mark Jackson, who's 2nd on this team in tackles with help from McFadden, make the stop. And what you're looking for here is a 3rd and manageable, which is what Cal now has.
Yeah, kind of a version of the stretch play right there, where you kind of go down the line and then turn it up when you find a spot, and he found a nice hole.
Smith has the 1st down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Give him a couple and a 1st down. And Lamont Smith has 6 carries for 38 yards. So off to a good start. Alex Berdahl, one of the leading tacklers, number 43, had the initial hit on the play. Cal still running their no-huddle offense, but they're making a lot of calls at the line of scrimmage.
Normally talk about a quarterback getting into a rhythm. Right now, Lamont Smith is in a great rhythm.
First pass to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Mario Washington. The cornerback, Jerome McFadden, a sophomore from Manassas, Virginia, in on the coverage. It's not going to be easy to make those plays, and of course that's a staple of the Cal offense.
Yeah, this is just great coverage. Defensive back, that was an equal opportunity football right there. Washington did a nice job making sure it wasn't picked.
Now you face a 2nd and 10. Smith inside, tripped up, make it Jeff Knox, pardon me. Jeff Knox gets yardage from the 44 to near the 40, let's call it 4. He's the big, strong running back. I mean, you'd think that Edwin Goins might play a factor today. It brings up a 3rd down and 6. And in a day like today, Paul, you're thinking field position. Even if you don't score off these, you're thinking about punting the ball deep and playing field position with your kicking game.
Yeah, maybe a screen or a little pass to the back out of the backfield here. I don't know how you're going to go downfield very effectively today.
Lalich over the middle, too tall for Lamont Smith. It was there.
It was catchable.
Little circle route, and that would have been a 1st down. As it is, it's 4th down and 6 from the 40, and Cal will punt. Coverage on the play by free safety Johnny Franco, number 28. Keep an eye on him. He leads the team with 4 interceptions, as does Cal's safety, Rontez Miles.
A very catchable ball at that time, and normally when you see a pass to a back, you think maybe the quarterback put a little too much on it. He had a nice touch on the ball for whatever reason. Smith just couldn't bring it down.
Eric Harris averaging nearly 38 yards per punt. Fumbles the snap, in trouble, and there goes your field position right there. That, in essence, is a turnover. And instead of IUP getting the ball deep in their own territory, they will get it again in Cal territory. Johnny Franco, we talked about him. He came in. Harris mishandled the snap, and there goes your field position right there. The drive, in essence, goes for naught, and IUP will take over at the Cal 41-yard line.
Stan, even if Harris fields that snap cleanly, the punt block was on, and they had it. He had no option right there. And Franco, by the way, I'm not sure if you're familiar with his dad, longtime coach in the Altoona area, coached at Altoona High, and then really made his mark moving up the road a little bit, and has won a couple state championships. So, the old son of a coach routine. The guy knows what he's doing out there.
Well, it won't go down as a turnover necessarily, but it is. Smith to throw for the very first time, looking deep down the field. The pass is caught deep in Cal territory. The pass caught by Terrell Barnes, sophomore from Gettysburg. A surprise. I'm sure they expected run, and the pass deep into Cal territory. Again, the yard markers are difficult to spot. It's a 36-yard completion, and looks like the ball's at about the 9-yard line, Paul.
And you can see Sean Anderson is right there, step for step with the receiver. But when you have a perfectly thrown ball, more often than not, it's going to be completed.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. Tuck again hit the line of scrimmage and drop for no gain at best, maybe a yard loss back to the 10. So far, it's always better to keep your hat on a day like today. At least to keep dry, keep your hat on, Harvey.
Watch Malava here, Stan. He just makes a big-time play. For whatever reason, unblocked. Even when you try to block him, he's going to make plays. If you don't block him, he'll make every one.
Tuck is averaging 106 yards per game, among the tops in Division II. He scored 7 touchdowns, but now it is second and goal from the 10-yard line. Here's Tuck again, looking to get outside. He does to the sideline and gets to near the 5-yard line for a gain of about 5 to bring up third down and goal.
Well, you can see the intensity in this game, and right there, just to get the extra yard, Tuck goes airborne just to get another yard. They're having fun out there. Football in weather like this, maybe not fun for the spectators, a whole lot of fun for the participants.
Sean Anderson, Brian Justice on the tackle. Pat Smith.
We got a flag, Sam. We got a hold on that. It's coming back. We're going to lose 10.
So that'll move it back to the 20-yard line. And it's second and goal.
Ball put back to the 20-yard line, second down and goal.
Yeah, you said it before, Stan. That first and goal from the 9 or 10, that's kind of the toughest place to be. It really is. Very difficult for an offense, so little room to operate. You still got to get a fair amount of yards to get into the end zone.
So Smith in a passing situation. Here's a blitz outside. He gets it off. He was in big trouble. Greg Cochran came in on the blitz from the outside and hit him just as he threw. The pass is incomplete.
Yeah, give Smith credit. He saw the blitz coming and just stood in there and made a decent throw. But the coverage was very good. What you do with a blitz, sure, you want to get the sack, the strip sack, and the big play. But what you really want to do is make the quarterback throw it sooner than he wants to. And Cochran succeeded in that.
It'll be third and goal.
Steelers would like to do that a little bit tomorrow, I would think.
Yep.
Good luck with that. Much easier said than done.
There you see Greg is really coming into his own. He was all-state wide receiver in high school, playing defense now. Here's Tuck looking to set up the field goal, but the Cal defense thus far has been terrific. Tuck barely, in a number of carries, has positive yardage. He may be looking at a 0, and that'll bring up fourth down and about a 38-yard field goal attempt, and that's exactly what Kurt Cignetti called for. Harvey Tuck less than that, 5 carries for 4 yards. That is a 0.8 yards per carry average.
That D-line stand right now, everybody winning their individual battles. That was Marcus Cook that made the big stop there. Malava's made a big one. That D-line for Cal right now proving to be somewhat unblockable.
Ullman 7 for 8 in field goal attempts. Difficult conditions. The kick is up. It's certainly long enough, and the kick is good.
Wow.
And that thing would have been good from 45 right there. Keep that in mind. So Cal failing to handle and execute the punt. It cost them 3 points. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. In this season of giving, please consider the gift of warmth. You can positively affect the life of someone less fortunate with a simple gift of a new or gently used coat, a pair of gloves, and a hat. We at DPS Penn pledge to provide at least 600 coats to various charities in our areas this winter. With your help, we could double or triple that number. Please give as you are able from your heart, because warm hearts can warm people. And you can bring those donations to the Cal Edinburgh game next week at Adamson Stadium. We hope you'll be able to do that.
Hopefully it's just a great day to donate a coat, not wear one.
Yeah. Forecast for next Saturday, 75 and sunny. Don't worry about it. The snow has actually let up a little bit. There you see both Mario Washington and Trey Johnson back deep to accept the kick from Ullman, who kicked the 37-yard field goal.
It is Josh Scobie impersonation there.
Boy, that was something. Good kickoff again. Trey Johnson. Again. He's hit and nailed outside the 30 to the 31-yard line. Looked like there was more room there for him, but
there's
good
Johnny Franco again.
Johnny Franco.
Tyrone's own.
Senior from Tyrone, Pennsylvania. IUP goes 24 yards, 5 plays. The penalty killed him. It would have been 3rd and goal from the 5, but the holding penalty drew him back. And they have a 3-0 lead on the field goal by Brett Ullman. Our scoring drive brought to you by DPS Penn.
Let's bring back some good memories. Spent a lot of time with John Franco Sr. Heck of a football coach.
Well, Cal's been able to move the ball, and they haven't turned it over. Knox. Nothing there. Lucky to get to the line of scrimmage, if indeed he did. Carl Thornton, I told you about him. He is a junior from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. Number 69 makes the tackle. No gain. 2nd down and 10.
That was just a big-time hit and a big-time tackle by a big-time player.
Cal's actually run the ball better than I thought they might, given this outstanding IUP run defense. Smith back in, half roll by Laulich to the sideline, and it is caught. It'll be short of the 1st down, but the pass is complete. First pass completion of the afternoon. That went to Mario Washington. By the way, Paul, Chedrick Cherry is in the lineup today. He missed last week. He's back playing today.
Nice job there by Washington to duck under and let the 2 IUP guys hit each other.
Another Washington, Terrell Washington, and Randy Lewis make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Cal at their own 41-yard line. Play comes in from the sideline.
Big 3rd down. I think Cal would really like to answer here and get some points on the board.
Knox, the specialist.
Oh, he's shifty.
And he breaks through to the 50, to the 40. And
throws a punch.
Runs out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. We'll see where the mark is going to be. It looks to be about the 22-yard line. How about that? It can often happen in short yardage.
But he did put on a great move on the corner. The right corner of IUP had a great shot at Knox. He goes 36 yards, and I've never seen a guy throw a more aggressive stiff arm. It looked like a Chuck Norton right cross. But, man, he is an aggressive player that really seeks contact. He doesn't like that open space.
Andre Henderson saved a touchdown. And Cal continues to run the ball well. What they need to do now is hang on to it. Here's Knox. Big hole on the right side. Kind of missed that. Now, there's a play right there. Gain is 3 inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Jackson making the tackle. Lamont Smith, even in these field conditions, that hole was to the outside.
You have to love the change of pace, though. Obviously, Lamont Smith finding a lot of running room, able to cut nimbly in these tough conditions. Knox, he's not going to try and make you miss. He's going to try and make you pay.
Knox hit in the backfield. Great penetration. Coming in was Mark Jackson, the inside linebacker. He's second on the team in tackles. He destroyed that play, and the loss will bring up a 3rd down and long for Cal. And those negative plays, they hurt you on a day like this, although it does look like the snow's let up a little bit.
Yeah, and Knox, I mean, he did make the great move on the big 36-yard run, made the cornerback miss. In general, he's not going to do that, so they get Lamont Smith back in this big 3rd down and 10. He's a straight-ahead, no-nonsense guy. Smith, elusive as all get out.
Wallace looking man wide open, and he overthrew him. He was looking for Blake Williamson, make that Josh Gumbert. He had Gumbert wide open, but day like today, you can't rely on that. Now it's 4th and 10, and I would think they'll go for it here. It's an awfully long field goal. Might as well.
Yeah, and I think that everything happened correctly there, except the ball came out of Lalich's hands a little bit squirrely, and that's going to happen.
Got to find a way in these conditions. There you see Josh Gumbert, number 88, the senior from Blackhawk High School. He was wide open. Thomas Mayo split wide to the left. We've got a slot right on 3rd down and 10 for Cal. For whatever reason, the play clock never started, and that's why referee Don King.
Signetti calls a timeout.
Now, IUP has called their 2nd timeout, and we're still in the first quarter with 3:47 to go. IUP leads it 3-0. Cal facing a 4th and 10. This Life is proud to be a part of the Cal U family. Family matters to, start that again, family matters to NSS Life. They specialize in low-cost life insurance and high-yielding annuities, perfect for your family. Call for a free quote, 800-488-1890. NSS Life, where family matters.
If I didn't have too much love and respect for our audience, I'd break into the jingle. I'm just not going to do that to anybody.
Well, Cal is going to go for the field goal here. It'll be a 40-yarder. Cody Nuzzo is 4 for 10 on field goals. High snap, kick is up. And it is no good.
Just hooked a little bit on him. He had enough leg.
Kind of a line drive, and so this game right now is boiled down to a couple of field goal, 1 missed field goal. Cody Nuzzo attempt is no good. Here's Harvey Tuck. Got some running room this time. Oh, big hit. Rontez Miles nails him out to the 27-yard line, but it's a solid gain for IUP, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. First hit was by B.J. Stevens. Rontez Miles cleaned him up, and so far, Harvey Tuck is averaging just a yard per carry. If that continues, Cal should be in pretty good shape, but you know, one of our keys when you're in the red zone, you better come away with something. And
got to get something, absolutely.
2nd and 7. This is James Johnson, and Johnson has a 1st down across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Darnell Harding finally brought him down, but Johnson, who's a sophomore from Philadelphia, he averages 4+ yards per carry. A little bit of a breather for Harvey Tuck, and it's a 1st down for the Crimson Hawks at the 35-yard line.
Little spring there. He has some giddy up. He got to that hole quickly, made a couple people miss. Looks like he's a nice change of pace back.
There he is, sophomore from Philly. So far, Cal's done a pretty good job, but this is an IUP team that lives and dies by the run, although it was a long pass play that set up their field goal. Tuck back in the game. Back it's Johnson, still Johnson. And Johnson gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Gain of 6 on first. Make it 2nd down and 4.
And it looks like that offensive line of IUP kind of finding its stride a little bit. A couple of successful run plays in a row. You get that kind of rhythm going. Cal's going to have to step up and make a play here.
Cochran and Anderson on the tackle. And Anderson is coming off. He looks to be a little bit shaken up. And James Nixon, number 15, will join the secondary. 2nd and 4 to play with, if you will. Leading receiver on this team, Jovan Rowan, number 9. Draw play, and Eric Harris comes up and makes the hit on Harvey Tuck. short of the first down to the 44. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
And again, that surge by that IUP offensive line looking pretty good. Initially, it was advantage Cal as they're getting a lot of penetration. Keeper, first down.
He's right to the 45-yard line. It's tight. That's where he had to get to. We'll see.
Yeah, the line judge had a very favorable spot, but they brought it back a little bit, but it's right on the number.
And the referee, Don King, not that Don King, unless he cut his hair. It is a first down for IUP as we count down to a minute remaining here in the first quarter. So far, IUP's been perfect handling the football. No
not put it
problems
on the ground yet.
Cal has had 2 turnovers. They're not going to get this off, and IUP is going to have to use its final timeout of the first half.
Normally that indecision doesn't come on a first down and 10, but
well, I think there's
things happen.
there's a conversation here between Curt Cignetti and the referee. He's saying that the play clock never started, but they're going to charge him with the timeout anyway with just a few seconds left in the first quarter. IUP out of timeouts. They face a 3rd and 1 when we return. Bus lines. First Niagara Bank, DPS Penn, Horizon Hospitality, California University of Pennsylvania, and Northwood Realty. Again, field position on a day like today, the snow has let up somewhat. Very important. Critical for
not as good for Cal.
3rd and 2. Johnson beats a tackle in the backfield, but not a second one. It looked like he had the corner, but Rontez Miles came up. Eric Harris was there, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 2.
That's just great pursuit. Washington did a great job. Broke a couple of tackles, as you'll see here. Tries to run out, knows he's close to that marker. Then finally, the 3rd guy, it was the charm. Miles finishes him off.
Greg Cochran came in to help out Steve Santia, getting penetration, which forced him out wider. Grant Shalleck, the punter, he's averaging 41 yards per kick. That's outstanding at this level. Trey Johnson will let it hit. Be careful handling the football, and it's a great kit. And Cal will start out at their own 6-yard line as the ball is down. That's an outstanding kick of better than 40 yards, just about the average for Grant Shalleck. Good play.
Yeah, actually gets 44 on that, and boy, you don't want to mess around with trying to field that thing. Cal doing a good job of just letting it get down and try to get something going offensively.
Well, Cal has done a pretty good job of running the football. Passing has been problematic. Just 1 out of 4 for Peter Lalich. Lamont Smith is the deep man, checking his footing as he comes out of the end zone. He's got room. Lamont Smith, the football. First down and plenty more. Out to the 30-yard line, a 24-yard gain, and immediately that gives the Vulcans field position and a first down. Andre Henderson made the tackle.
Lamont Smith seems to either have some really good snowshoes on or just having an exceptionally good day. He is cutting hard and really making a lot of people miss.
Here he comes again, darting his way for about 4 to nearly 5 yards. Again, it didn't look like much, but he didn't have anything at the line of scrimmage, and through his own shiftiness was able to get 4. Carl Thornton caught him from behind, 2nd down and 6. And you're looking for positive gains on a day like today.
Boy, is Thornton a big-time tackler. When he gets you in his sights, he puts you down.
Oh, Smith is hit in the backfield. Outstanding penetration by the middle linebacker, Mark Jackson, the senior from Canton, Ohio, right near the Hall of Fame. That'll lose yardage. That time he just flat out beat the blocker and made the tackle.
Yeah, you want to talk about a guy that just knew what was coming. Big number 75 there, Rashad Johnson. I'm not sure if that was his man, but he went right by him.
3rd down and 7, a passing down. At some point, Cal's going to have to hit some of these passes.
Yeah, I mean, it's who they are and what they do. They're going to have to get something going through the air despite the conditions.
Only one completion thus far, and there's a false start on Cal. Left tackle Levi Pardee now. It makes it more difficult. The 3rd down and 12.
And at this point in the year, there's just really no excuse for that.
False start, number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Don King with the call and the rest of today's officiating crew. 3rd down and 12, and again, Lalich 1 for 4. Completions this afternoon. Haven't heard from Thomas Mayo or Chet Cherry thus far today. This would be a good time to call their name. Lalich with time, throws over the middle, and it's caught for a 1st down by Mario Washington. Talk about a big-time throw and catch. That gain out to the 44 and a very important 1st down. Randy Lewis, senior from Washington, D.C., made the tackle. That's a very, very big 1st down. 2 catches now for Washington.
Lalich threaded that one, 16-yard gain, very positive, maybe a momentum builder.
Jeff Knox, big back up the middle, plows his way for 3 to the 47.
Well, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, in other than short yardage situations, goal line situations, but it's a nice change of pace, and he's going to come up and he's going to rock you.
Don't know if Edwin Goins is hurt. He had concussion issues earlier in the year. He did play last week, but maybe the way Knox has run, and by the way, he started the year as a DB, was a running back in high school, maybe surpassed on the depth chart. Lamont Smith, wow, crawling to very near a 1st down. It looks like he may have it just by the nose of the football.
You talk about cars. If you're a car person, it's 0 to 60, and that's like a big number. Watch Lamont Smith. He'll stop and then just go. He hits full speed quicker than most backs you're going to see. His 0 to 60 is quick.
They're going to call it 3rd down and about a foot for a 1st down. Cal will go with their double tight end jumbo package. That means Knox. Split wishbone. Knox still on his feet, but he's got the line, which means he's got the 1st down.
Didn't like what he saw right up the middle, cut it to the outside. Almost had some room there, Stan. We talked about it earlier. When you have that big bunch for the goal line or the short yardage, if you bounce it to the outside, nobody's there. They were able to drag Knox down, or he could have gone for a long ways.
Knox is 6'2" and about 220 pounds. Redshirt freshman from DeMatha Catholic High School in suburban D.C. It is a 1st down at the 44-yard line of IUP. As Cal looks to tie this game or take the lead. Lalich, man open and underthrown. It was intended for the tight end, Blake Williamson, who caught the game-tying touchdown last week with just seconds to play. He was open. The pass was not there. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I'm not sure if it's the grip on the ball, but you actually saw Lalich physically try to aim that and guide the ball in there. He didn't cut it loose. That's why it didn't get there.
Slot right on 2nd down and 10. Lalich looks to the sideline. You see the play being called in as they change. 5 seconds on the play clock. Out pattern to Mayo. Mayo on his feet at the 30.
He's gone.
Mayo to the 20. Forget about it. Touchdown. 44 yards from Peter Lalich to Thomas Mayo. Mayo with the reception, his 11th touchdown catch of the year, and for Lalich, his 16th touchdown of the year, touchdown pass. And there's an idea of a missed tackle right there by the normally sure tackling Jarrell McFadden.
And give Mayo a lot of credit, making people miss. We talked about it earlier. The offensive guy knows where he's going. It's tough for the defensive guy to react and move with him. So that's a big-time play. Only threw the ball 10 yards, but it goes 44 for the touchdown.
News, who had his difficulties last week, does make the extra point today. Newzone on the season is 25 for 30 and a big touchdown drive. And remember, this was a 94-yard, make it 93-yard. Who's
They're calling you a liar for a yard.
That's unbelievable. At the top of your screen on the far side, that's a 93-yard drive in 9 plays. Took nearly 4 minutes. And you would think on a day like today that wouldn't be possible. It is possible, but it ain't easy. From the 9-yard line, McFadden got a hole, 25 across the 30 and dropped at the 32-yard line. Special teams coverage by Will McClure. Whoops, wrong side. There we go. Charles France making the tackle. Charles is a reserve fullback. You'll often see him on short yardage downs.
Now McFadden puts a little fear into you, doesn't he?
Yeah,
boy, the way he took off, you're thinking someone better get in front of this guy. And thankfully, for Cal's perspective, someone did.
Well, James Johnson, who did such a great job running the football, apparently was just going to spell Harvey Tuck because Tuck is now back in the backfield behind Pat Smith. Here's Tuck with the ball, and he's hit hard. He's not having an easy day of it today.
There's their man Cochran.
Greg Cochran is having himself a big day today. Chandler, Arizona, I started to mention that he is a kid who was an all-state wide receiver from Chandler, Arizona, and switched over to defense, and he's liking it so far. Johnson with 5 carries for 20 yards, but Harvey Tuck, who will get a couple there, is barely averaging per carry. 2nd down and 8.
That D-line for Cal doing a great job so far.
Yes, they are. They're controlling things. Play fake. Blitz and sack. Thomas Malaba, Steve Santia, the whole gang. It was a defensive line meeting, and they met at the quarterback. A sack for Cal U. It's their 22nd of the year, and it drops IUP all the way back to their own 25-yard line, 3rd and 7.
You see Crawford there from the outside really broke it down, then Santia cleaned it up from the inside. But Crawford beating his man around to the outside forced the quarterback Smith right into the sack.
Now it's 3rd down and very long, and again Smith is not accustomed, well, no team is really, 3rd and 17, but they usually try to pass the ball when they're ahead of the chains. Last time they had 3rd and long, they just played it safe like they're doing now, giving the ball to Tuck. Look at that power. Wow. Look at that drive all the way up to the 40-yard line. And obviously it's well short of the 1st down, but not that far short. That is a gain of 14 yards. It'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, 14 is straight ahead, always a nice gain, just not quite enough when you need 17. Cochran, little ride-em cowboy right there. He had all he could handle, bringing that determined running back Tuck down to the ground.
Well, he gave up his helmet for the cause. It's short Grant Shalleck, who had a 54-yard kick in his first and only punt of the game. Will kick it away. Trey Johnson, the punt block was on. Johnson will take at his own 20. Breaks one tackle, gets loose, gets near the 30-yard line. Good return that time by Trey Johnson. 1st and 10 Cal. Lifetime supporter of Cal U Athletics, Pat Alfano has been a real estate agent and associate broker for 15 years. Pat lives and works in the area and manages 2 Northwood Realty offices. The California and Monongahela offices have 15 agents waiting to attend to the area's every real estate need. Whether you're buying or selling, call one of our offices today. The California area office at 724-785-5520 or the Monongahela area office at 724-292-1040.
Got a late hit.
On the kicking team, it's 15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Well, that's huge.
That helps.
It does help.
Every little bit helps. Get a 15 on a day like today. Headed in that direction is a good thing.
Well, thanks to the referee, Don King, for waiting until I was done with the real estate commercial.
It was
to
very
announce
nice,
the penalty.
very kind.
Very accommodating here at IUP. 45-yard line, great starting position, much like IUP had on 2 occasions in the first quarter. Knox changes direction. Pretty good cut, but it allowed the IUP defense to pursue. The gain is 3 to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Vulcans. Jerome McFadden making the tackle.
And you see he does make good cuts, and he's made a couple people miss, but it's at a much different speed than you see Lamont Smith make those same cuts.
About 40 pounds difference between the two. And again, Cal doing much more signaling in of offensive plays in the sideline than I recall seeing, Paul.
Yeah, it is a different look.
This time it's Lamont Smith.
Straight ahead.
Yep, into IUP territory at the 47, which will bring up a 3rd down and 2.
That's what's always impressed me about him. Yeah, he's elusive. He makes people miss. But right there's 4 yards if he just puts his head down and goes hard right up the middle. So that's what he does. You love a back like that that's not big, but not afraid to go between the tackles.
Smith looking for the 1st down, ducks a tackle, gets to the 41-yard line. Boy, that he made a guy miss right in the hole and got outside, but he got the 1st down, more importantly, to the 41.
And he's just one of those backs that if you're a defensive guy, he can make you look pretty silly.
Jump
Here he
cut.
is right in the middle, and he gets every ounce out of every carry. Lamont Smith has been very impressive this year, very impressive this day.
Junior from Central Catholic, 1st and 10 from the 41. Smith takes a break. This is Knox. The play fake. Lalich throws, man wide open on the sideline. Caught for 1st down and then some.
Welcome back. Oh!
Chedrick Cherry.
I don't know if you saw the official. He did a right onto his wallet trying to signal touchdown. He went right over a snowbank, and I had to wait for him to get back up. But Cherry just puts on the Jets. I don't know if we're going to see the official, but Cherry just cuts it up and just turns on the Jets. Here's the official right here. Oh, he goes out of the picture, but he fell backwards. Hopefully he's okay. The conditions are tough for everybody out there today.
I thought that the official was signaling that he was out of bounds, but it is a touchdown as he dove over the pylon. And welcome back Chedrick Cherry, who was injured last week, his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Nuzzo at the extra point. It is good. And on a day fit for neither man nor beast, but good for Division II football. Peter Lalich has 2 touchdown passes, and it has Cal up 14-3, a 41-yard touchdown pass. Or was it 40 and a half yards?
And
call me a
Stan,
liar for a half yard this time.
When you
44,
start running the
41.
football as effectively as Cal's doing it, and you sell that play fake as well as Lalich did, and here we're going to see the official here, Stan. No! Just right out of the frame, but he went.
You know what? I'm not going to laugh at him
no.
because that could be me going to the parking lot.
Stan,
so.
you and I may be here until spring.
Be okay. How about that? Running the ball as well as they did, and you knew that they would have to. You expected, certainly, IUP to be able to do that. But for Cal to be able to do that, that's a different story. Not that they don't run the ball. Four plays, 70 yards. We got a 70-yard drive and a 93-yard drive. 41-yard touchdown pass to Chedrick Cherry from Peter Lalich. And our scoring drive brought to you by DPS Penn.
2 very impressive runs after catches by Mayo and now Cherry. And they are dangerous. You wouldn't want to be out there on the island that those IUP DBs have been on. Those guys know where they're going. It's easier to be a little more sure-footed when you have an idea where you're headed.
This is Mike Merriweather returning from the 10. Runs into his own blocker, which helps out the Cal defense. And Juwan Bryant, number 17, who returned the block punt last week for a touchdown, makes the tackle. And IUP will start out just shy of their own 30-yard line.
And now this is when it's really advantaged Cal U, because one thing that IUP is not built for is coming from behind. Now it's not a huge deficit, but there would, I would imagine, be from Coach Cignetti and that offensive brain trust, which, by the way, is a couple of former Pitt quarterbacks. Lute Getzky is the quarterback coach and coordinator. Rod Rutherford is the wide receivers coach. So nice Pitt connection there with the IUP squad.
Well, the Cignetti family, of course, so long associated with IUP and the connection to Pittsburgh. Smith on the roll, B.J. Stevens after him, fires on the run, and the pass is caught for a first down across the 40 to the 42-yard line. The pass completed to Terrell Barnes. He's the one who caught the 36-yarder, which helped set up the initial IUP scoring drive. It's a good gain of 13 yards to the 42.
And while maybe the Crimson Hawks not exactly geared toward throwing the ball, they look pretty comfortable doing it. Smith on the roll there delivers a perfect strike to Barnes, and it looks like they've been doing that all year long.
And it also doesn't appear, Paul, that there's much of a wind today, which may hurt your passing more than the precipitation. Smith looking, throwing the deep pattern along the sideline. That's good coverage by Sean Anderson. Left the game earlier. Again, he's on Barnes, but this time he was covered all the way.
Anderson on a very similar play. The one that they connected on for 36 was an isolation for Anderson and Barnes, and this is just great coverage. And it was actually Barnes pulling on the arm of Anderson, trying to maybe get a little something there, but that's anyone's football in that situation. Contact's going to happen.
Remember, when the ball goes up in the air, you're 100% right. The defender has every bit as much right to that football as does the offensive player, as long as he doesn't interfere or doesn't get caught interfering. Smith again. Pass incomplete. Good pass rush. We've got a Cal player down. I think it's B.J. Stevens. Yeah, B.J.'s a little shaken
Pulls
up.
himself up. That didn't feel too good, though. But, again, great pressure on the quarterback, Smith. Stevens providing a lot of that. And when you see a pass just kind of fall in the middle of the field with no one really around, normally the quarterback's throwing it a lot sooner than he'd like.
And a good job by Kevin Crawford, who had a clean shot on Smith, but he pulled up.
Yeah, if you tack on 15 right there, you ruin a great effort by the entire defense.
Cal's lucky that wasn't Kimoyatu.
He'd hit him about now, is usually when he hits people.
2nd and 10. Tuck. Right guard. Running. First down and plenty more. Great. Harvey Tuck. They might have caught him in a run, in a pass defense there.
Yeah, more often than not, when you come on the outside on a blitz and you cut it up on the inside with a run, you're going to gouge, I should say. 18 yards there, and a nice run by Tuck. Nice blocking by that IUP front.
Tuck comes out of there now, and James Johnson in, number 34. Cal certainly didn't want to get too comfortable here just because they've gone up 14-3. IUP responding, and they get the ball to start the second half. Johnson, he's got the corner. The 35-yard line. Rontez Miles coming up from a strong safety position, but that's a big pick of 5 on first down.
We always talk about 4 yards on first down as a victory. 5 certainly qualifies as Swearinger and Miles come up to make the stop. But when you string a play out like that, hopefully you're doing it closer to the line of scrimmage. You don't want to be 5 yards back.
Vince Manis, number 98, the junior from Denver, Colorado, replacing Steve Santia.
Sure, the snow's really freaking him out.
He's out there on skis.
Blitz.
Smith throws wide open to Brewer. Brewer following a blocker to the 5-yard line, and they'll call him out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Brewer, the wide receiver, number 8, his 12th catch of the year. He averages yards per reception, 7, and a first and goal for IUP. So the Crimson Hawks respond in kind, first and goal.
Eric Harris came on the blitz but got picked up. That gave a favorable matchup in the secondary for the Hawks, and they turn it into a big play.
Short motion. This is Johnson trying to get the corner. Beats one tackler, cuts up, and will be marked out of bounds. Looks like the 4-yard line. That's a pretty good 4-yard run right there.
Yeah, it sure was. And even though Rontez Miles didn't make the play, he forced Johnson so far to the outside, he allowed the pursuit to at least grab him before he got into the end zone.
Cochran ultimately made the tackle, but it is a gain of 4 to bring up 2nd down and goal from inside the 4-yard line. Tuck hit at the line of scrimmage, still driving. Finally dropped by Jack Crawford. Excuse me, Kevin Crawford. Jack Crawford's playing up the road. Yeah, he's playing a double header today. It'll be 3rd and goal from just inside the 3-yard line. Making the tackle along with Crawford. Johnson.
Keep in mind the quarterback Smith runs it pretty well. Might want to give himself a run pass option here on 3rd and 3.
There it is. Smith into the end zone for the touchdown. Pat Smith with the touchdown. That completes a response drive for IP after they'd been stunned with a 41-yard touchdown pass to drop behind 14-3. They come right back, and this is a ball game. Not that it never wasn't, but it's certainly a more game. Wow.
And when did they start shooting mortars after they scored touchdowns here at IUP?
Brent Allman will attempt the extra point. He's 20 of 21 this year. He already has a 37-yard field goal today.
Boy, he's a nice leg.
Yep, kick is up and good. A very, very impressive drive by the Crimson Hawks of IUP at a time when maybe the game was teetering in the balance, but there's a lot of football to be played. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
Touchdown. And that scoring drive presented by DPS Penn.
You can also see that the intensity of the snow has picked up just a little bit. Although the field has cleared up a little bit. Washington on the return. Got the sideline to the 40, the 45, and run out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Great return by Mario. Cal up. Good field position.
Got a real taste of his speed right there. So kind of to the outside, but here's Smith. I don't know what happened up front for IUP, but boy, they started opening him. There's Tuck with a big gain, and Smith goes airborne, hits his man right there, and that is Pat Brewer. And then Smith does a nice job running the football. Has been really an effective runner all year for IUP. Calls his own number, basically goes in untouched, and it's 14-10.
So Cal U again starting out with good field position. Do they can take advantage of that? Knox, big room up the middle, drives into IUP territory to the 46-yard line. That's a solid gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. We're under 3 minutes to play in the half. Remember, IUP has used up all their timeouts. If that becomes a factor, Cal U has all 3 of theirs remaining. 2nd down and 4.
I like Knox's new role. Just banging it inside.
He's earned his way to the backup running back. Here he comes again, a little bit of a tiptoe there. And gets a yard, maybe 2, to bring up a 3rd down and 2. Something to mention about this IUP defense. They've been outstanding, nationally ranked. 3 of their last 4 games, they've allowed a touchdown or less. They shut out Edinboro. They allowed 7 to Clarion, 7 to Gannon. The only exception was Mercyhurst, scored 28 in the game they won in overtime.
Yeah, and we saw enough Mercyhurst to know that that wasn't by accident.
Nope, they can score.
They are a good football team.
3rd and 2. Cal wants his first down badly. They do not want to give the ball back to the Crimson Hawks. Lawless looks, almost intercepted. Looking for Washington on the sideline, and Mark Jackson, he's the middle linebacker. He dropped back into coverage to make that play.
Boy, did he sniff and smell that one out. He was actually far more likely to catch this ball than the intended receiver, Washington. That is a cool play there by Jackson, who, as no surprise, came in pretty heralded. He's a big-time player.
Well, the last time and the first time Cal punted, Eric Harris mishandled the snap.
They came after him too, Stan. I don't think he gets it off even if he handles it cleanly.
Yeah. Got Max Protect in there now.
Nice kick.
Great kick looking for the sideline, and he gets it. Question is where?
These guys walk and walk. There he is at the 10, the 11, the 12.
Slower than I do.
The 15, and he'll call it the 16.
Time him in the 40-yard sundial.
At least he stopped. I wasn't sure he was ever going to stop. Ourselves going backwards there today, fellas. We already had one guy go down. Something over teacups, they say.
IUP will start out their 16-yard line. No timeouts. They used them all in the first quarter. But something to keep in mind is that Brett Ullman, the field goal kicker, has a tremendous leg. So that's a factor, and what a lift that would be. And we'll see if not being able to get that 3rd down and 2 comes back to haunt the Vulcan. Tuck hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss. Boy, that's good penetration there once again by Thomas Malaba. That's an outstanding play.
I don't think that'd be a fun day being across from him all day.
No,
he is just a hard worker. He's explosive, and he punishes ball carriers.
Now Cal calls him out. They think they can get the ball back here. There you see Malaba. You got to shed the blocker, and he makes the tackle too. It's an outstanding play by Thomas Malaba, who I think it's fair to say has been Cal's best defensive lineman this year. Senior from Sterling, Virginia, 6'2", 300 pounds, and he feet. So Cal a timeout, figuring they can get the ball back in reasonable position. They still have 2 times out remaining.
Yeah, the attack goes on the year. Malaba to the loss. He done. And he's so consistent. I mean, it's every game. It's not where Thomas Malaba always know he's in there making plays.
$19 seconds remain.
Did you come after it or try to get a return?
I come after it.
And they did, and almost got it.
And it's a short punt. Johnson, like a shortstop, picks it up and takes it out of bounds near midfield. 10 seconds left, which means you'd have time for 1 pass play. You still have 1 timeout. So call timeout and kick a goal.
Opportunity to get more points on the board. I like this between Cignetti and Lucky down the final seconds of this first half. Trying to get everything, every ounce out of every opportunity that you can. With so much on the line that's in this game, the chance to play in the postseason, you got to go for broke at every opportunity.
Remember to think in pass interference in college ball, it's only from the line of scrimmage. It's not the spot of the foul. IUP has 3 defenders back at the 25-yard line to prevent the deep ball. Pass is caught.
Timeout.
To the 27-yard line. Clock stopped on the first down. Blake Williamson, who caught the big touchdown pass, has got a play here. So it's touchdown or bust here for Cal. Lalich lofts it up into the end zone. Cherry goes after it.
Oh, touchdown!
And it's called for a touchdown. Josh Gumber catches it for a touchdown. Michigan State all over again. Are you kidding me?
Oh, and IUP is going to be very upset with that because they weren't able to knock the ball down. Let's see who keeps it up.
Cherry, well, no, it's a defender who got his hands on it.
Looks like it's number 17, Andre Henderson. Can't knock down. Now 21 gets his hand on the ball. That's Terrell Washington. And
that's unbelievable.
Gumbert somehow found it and got into the corner of the end zone. He wasn't in the end zone. He had to get in there. Just the way they drew it up, Stan.
Absolutely. That's why that timeout was worth it. I've been doing this a long time, Paul, at least a couple of weeks now. Yeah. And I've never called a Hail Mary touchdown pass like that.
I'm so stunned I hopped in and interrupted, and I apologize for that.
Do not apologize. You saw it before I did. How about that? 2 plays, 51 yards, a 27-yard touchdown pass. We're at halftime. 21, IUP 10.
We have some conditions. There's Lucky trying to get the troops acclimated to the weather. And Cal early on, that's Harris with the muff snap on the punt. And that led to the IUP field goal. And Stan, this was impressive.
That is a 37-yard field goal by Brett Ullman, and it gave IUP a 3-0 lead. Lalich to Thomas Mayo, and that is classic. Yards after the catch, that good for the touchdown and a 7-3 Cal lead.
Yeah, and they weren't done either. Here's Lalich this time to Ched Cherry, back after missing last week's game. And you want to talk about yards after catch. That was a big-time pitch and catch there as Cherry gets all the way into the end zone.
Cherry missing last week with an injury. Here's Pat Smith, a nice 71-yard drive. He finishes with a 3-yard touchdown run to make it 14-10.
Stan, what a way to end a half. The Hail Mary, Josh Gumbert, Johnny on the spot. Boy, 2 IUP players with a chance to knock that ball down. Instead, tip it up in the air, and Gumbert makes him pay dearly.
That was with 5 seconds left on the clock. That's when the play began. 000 when he scored. You can see that Cal, again, rushing the football 50 yards more than IUP. That is their stock in trade. Interesting, Peter Lalich has completed 4 passes today, Paul, 3 of them for touchdowns.
I want to say that's somewhat efficient in the pass game, but the second touchdown pass to Ched Cherry, a beautiful play fake to Lamont Smith out of the backfield, and they'd been running the ball so well. You could just feel that entire IUP defense come up and want to stop the run. Turns out Lalich still had the ball through the strike to Cherry, and he takes it to the house.
And third down conversions, 5 out of 8. You've got to keep the chains moving, keep driving, and even though they scored on big plays, they have done a very good job of keeping the ball.
And Stan, you know today's a big day. It's the 3rd annual Coal Bowl.
It really does add to it. We're very, very pleased that this has come about. Bob Lippincott played for Cal. Barry played for IUP. Their mom used to come and watch them play against each other. And also the best thing about it is that scholarships get provided to both schools for athletics. So it doesn't get any better than that.
No, this is kind of a big deal, and it's so cool. The Lippincott brothers, one went to and played for Cal, the other went here and played for IUP. Their family with such a history in the coal industry. They've endowed scholarships at both universities. It's just a wonderful deal. And they're going to present to someone after this game, Stan, the Coal Bowl trophy. And I think it's going to be a very great tradition for many years to come. And here's some of the facts that go along with that. The winner does get the Miners Pale Trophy. Football scholarships, of course, to both Cal and IUP. It is Bob from Cal, Barry, who goes by Buck here at IUP. As you know, the Vulcans undefeated in Coal Bowl play.
They may want to call this thing off, at least from the IUP perspective, at least the Coal Bowl part of it. I mean, these two teams have played each other for virtually 100 years. IUP leads the series all time by a rather wide margin, 59-22 to 2. But, of course, you want to take into account the John Luckhart area where they've done very well. And that kind of put them on the map when they were finally able to beat beat IUP. And that kind of put the program on the proper footing because IUP, under Frank Cignetti, dominated this conference for years.
Yeah, they were kind of the big deal in the PSAC, no question about that. And I think there's a resurgence in IUP football because, once again, a Cignetti associated with the program and Kurt leading the charge as the head coach. So I think, like in most things, when you have a rivalry, you want that team on the other side to be a very, very worthy opponent, and IUP is certainly that.
Well, we'll see what emotional toll, if any, or what emotional benefit, if any, both sides have gotten because of the Hail Mary at the end of the half for Cal to Josh Gumbert. Cody Nuzzo will kick off. It's a line drive. It skids and goes through and into the end zone, and that is about as effective a kick as you can possibly have.
And you need a little luck on that one. If that takes a little kick left, all of a sudden it's IUP 1st and 10 at the 40, and you don't want that.
Save you 20 yards. McFadden set to return that one, but they'll start off their own 20. And IUP's responded well. When Cal went up 14-3, IUP responded with a 71-yard touchdown drive to get him back in the game. And then the odd 2 minutes.
It was quite a chess match. The calling of timeouts. Kurt Cignetti opted to throw the ball on 2nd down, backed up there in the final minute of the half, and then somehow, some way, Cal gets into the end zone with no time left on the clock.
Smith to throw. He's hit in the backfield and goes down for a loss at the 16-yard line. Penetration and the ultimate sack by Eric Harris. It is his 2nd sack of the year, but watch the penetration that created the problem.
Yeah, and there's our man Cochran again. He forces Smith out of the comfort zone and right into Eric Harris, who cleans it up and gets the sack.
By the way, Greg Cochran had 6 tackles in the first half. What a game he is playing. So IUP surprisingly opens up with a pass. Harvey Tuck, by the way, averaging 106 yards per game, had 46 on 13 carries in the first half. 2nd down, 14 yards to go for IUP. Smith in the flat to Brewer, and Brewer has positive yardage across the 20 to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 7, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7. Cochran again with a tackle with help from Patrick Swearinger.
Cochran showing his versatility, stand a converted wide receiver from out in Chandler, Arizona, showing he can come after and rush the quarterback, get out there in coverage. For a wide receiver, he looks pretty darn good on defense, does he not?
Hey, from a guy from Arizona, he looks pretty good playing in this slop and the snow and the mess.
Probably wondering what the heck this is all about.
IUP 3 for 8 on 3rd down conversions, facing a 3rd and 7. Inside handoff to Tuck, a little misdirection, but not nearly enough for the 1st down. Again, Cal's been very stout against the run, allowing just over 70 yards, 72 yards on the ground in the first half. And so, when we talk about answering, it's the Cal defense that answers. Shalleck will punt it away. Trey Washington back at his 37-yard line. Way up in the air. Fair catch called for and taken at the 42-yard line.
Is that incidental contact there? You might want to get a little penalty there. The guy catches the ball with a fair catch. You run into him? Just saying.
Just saying. Cal will start out at their own 41-yard line when we return. For IUP, who looked like he was injured. He's back in the game. Knox. Wow. Driving. Big hit by Henderson. The clock will run. He gets 3 yards and earned every inch of it, and there's a flag on the play.
And what a sense of pride that is, not to be taken down. If you noticed, Knox did not go to the ground.
Just the flag did. Dead ball.
Boy, you know
personal
what?
Foul.
If that's for hitting Knox again, when the guy won't go down, you got to keep hitting him. I'm not sure that's a good call.
Unless the whistle blew, we couldn't hear it. Here's the call.
After the play, personal foul, 93 of the defense, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
May have been away from the ball, but, I mean, the way Knox is running, if they're not blowing the whistle and he's still going, you got to keep hitting him.
There's Mark Jackson back in the game.
Happy to see that from
Absolutely.
IUP.
He
Tough
looked like
kid.
he was seriously injured. The penalty is on Akeem Smith. Gives Cal a first down at the 40-yard line. Tough sledding for Knox. Lucky to get a couple. He barges in there and lowers his shoulder, gets a couple. His offensive line, let's give them some credit. Levi Pardee, Devin Cox, Eric Cush, the center. Reshaw Johnson, the right guard, Chet Welk, and Blake Williamson is the tight end. 2nd down and 8.
I think you have kind of have Knox in there to kind of, knock those guys around a little bit to create a little room for that man, Lamont Smith.
Lamont Smith back in the game. Cal using play clock. We're not looking to kill clock now. But Lawless looking, throwing man open, and almost intercepted. It certainly should have been intercepted by Randy Lewis, the senior from Washington, D.C. That was a miscommunication. The receiver kept on going. Lawless threw behind him, and that could have been intercepted.
And not only intercepted, taken for a long, long way. You look all the way out there by the sideline. If that man, Randy Lewis, has any kind of speed, there's a good chance he's going 80 yards for a touchdown.
Don't know if Mario Washington ran the wrong pattern, was supposed to come back, but in any event, the pass was in his direction. 3rd down and 8. The late draw, Lamont Smith needs a block, gets one, drives to the 31-yard line. And the important thing is there, the gain of 7 puts Cal in position to go for it on 4th and 1. Brewster, number 90, tripped him up. But it looked like there wasn't much there, but he made 7 yards, and now it gives him an opportunity to go for it as Knox will come back in the game.
Not only Knox, but also Chase DiCarlo, the lead blocking back, as they go to their power outfit.
Cal would love to get this first down, maintain the football, and keep the clock running. No chance. Great penetration. It was Larry Gooden, number 92. He blew up the play. He pretty much knew what was coming. That's one of those things where here's what we're going to do, see if you can stop it. IUP certainly did. They take over. This could be a turning point in this game on the 4th down stop.
Come aboard T.A. Nelson.
Low snap. Smith takes it. Looks to the sideline.
Batted down.
Batted down at the line of scrimmage. Pass is incomplete.
And that was big Kevin Crawford getting those paws up. And we talk about it all the time. If you can't get there, get those hands up, good things can happen. Kind of look like Brett Kiesel on that one, Stan.
Fear of the beard. We'd like to get near number 12 tomorrow.
He's pushing salsa these days, Stan.
Yes, I know.
Did you talk to him about a little salsa?
I did talk to him.
Yeah, we did too. He likes the hot.
He likes the hot, he said. And I told him I was a wuss and I like the mild. And he said that gets stuck in your beard, you got a problem. 2nd and 10, another low snap. Pass flag. Intended for Tuck. well, actually extended for the wide receiver in the flat. Justice and Lynn on the coverage. Pass intended for the tight end, John Ditto, senior from Gateway by way of Penn State and Joe Paterno University. 3rd down and 10.
Great coverage there by the linebacker. Get that outside hand out there. Perfect technique. Just bat the ball away. Nice job by Lynn back there in coverage.
Spencer Lynn is a freshman from Bell Vernon, PA. Cal basically playing with a couple freshman linebackers.
Have really grown into the roles. Of course, losing Brett Diamond was a huge blow. Big time, kind of the heart of that defense. And they've adjusted well without him. I guess, like he said, the standards is the standard.
Boy, IUP is really had difficulty managing their timeouts. Here they are in a 3rd and 10 after an incompletion, and they have to use their first timeout. We'll be back with their 3rd down attempt right after this.
Undercover.
We are undercover with the tarpaulin, but our crew is out there in the elements. Guys, outstanding. Well, everybody but you. No, outstanding job.
They get here very early to set all this stuff up, and God bless them all. Not an easy day to do so, or get here for that matter.
It is nasty and damp. Pat Smith in trouble, and down he goes. 3rd sack of the game for Cal, and it's the gob man, Steve Santia, with the sack.
Pumpkin gobs for everybody.
You bet. Pumpkin gobs for everybody. His 2nd sack of the year. He's had a very strong game today. He's had a very strong season. That's a big loss and tough for IUP to make up on 3rd down. 4th and 16. Shalleck, good punt. But Johnson can return this. Cuts inside to the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. So Cal gains on that exchange. And at this point in time, it's all about field position, but Cal needs to take advantage of it as they start out at their own 44. 10:20 to play in the 3rd. Cal still up 21-10. Well, the first 4.5 minutes or so of the 3rd quarter have been scoreless. Cal with an opportunity now to take advantage of good field position. And as Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over, but a touchdown here, Paul, would really force IUP out of their game plan.
Yeah, a team that likes to run it doesn't feel comfortable coming from behind.
Play fake. Wallace looking deep on the sideline and caught by Jerry. Came back to the football, beat the coverage on the corner by McFadden, and it's good for a 1st down inside the 30-yard line.
Talk about poise in the pocket. Watch Lalich look around. This is about his 3rd read. We do have a flag on the play. I'm not sure if that's coming back or not, but
I think it's defensive holding on IUP, which of course will be declined.
Cherry and Lalich on the same page there. Cherry coming back from the ball, for the ball, as you pointed out. And that will be tacked on, I believe, or declined because the play was bigger than the penalty would have been. Yeah, they'll decline that and
Holding.
take the play.
Defense number 2. Penalty is declined. The result of the play brings up a 1st down.
Randy Lewis, who dropped that interception, that could have been a game-changing play because he did have every opportunity to run it back for a touchdown, is called for the hold. Cal obviously takes the play and has it 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Nice chunky yardage right there on 1st down.
Cal only 1 penalty for 5 yards. Lamont Smith cuts inside the 25 to the 24. Good for 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
And at this juncture, stand up 21-10, and as effective they've been on the ground, why not go there? Why not go ahead and pound it a little bit?
You can get the yardage and eat up the clock at the same time, although it's early to be thinking about that still. It's a factor. But we talked about getting in the red zone and converting in the red zone. That's something Cal's got to do. Smith driving his way for the 1st down. Inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. And Peter Lalich smartly letting that play clock run down to 8 seconds.
Yeah, watch the contact here as they cave in that left side of the defense. And boy, the hitting out there has been as expected. Extremely crisp. Smith's having a day, Stan.
15 carries, 99 yards. revise that stat. He loses 3 back to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. So he's at 96 yards. Thornton again making the big play in the backfield.
He is a big-time disruptor, Stan. He is in there almost simultaneous with the handoff. And I was just going to make the brilliant comment, you know, you have a back over 100 yards, so more often than not, you're going to win the game. Now there's a little more work ahead for Smith to get over the century mark.
See, I was going to manage our stat man, Kenny. Don't tell me until he gets over 100. Don't give me 99. See the jinx?
He's sitting at 99 gobs right now. He's waiting to get over that century mark in gobs.
Procedure on Cal. Well, this drive's going to stall, and this was a chance to
False
really.
start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's the second one on Levi Pardee, and he has had problems with that. And now all of a sudden, 2nd and 13 becomes 2nd and 18.
Yeah, you get a tackle for loss, you know, thanks to Thornton, then the penalty. And all of a sudden, you were in the driver's seat on this drive. Now you're working behind the chains, and that's no good.
Well, you look to get half of it back here.
Fumble.
And a fumble on the sack.
Lalich got it back.
Well, you talk about going from the sublime to the ridiculous. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Now it's 3rd down and half a mile from the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 26 and out of field goal range.
And Lalich very lucky that this ball somehow on the strip sack stays within his reach, and he's able to tuck it and keep possession for one more play. What do you dial up here on 3rd and forever?
Try to get into field goal range. I mean, it's 3rd. Yet the line to gain is the 7-yard line. I'd call up the Hail Mary to Josh Gumbert. Lalich firing, pass too high, knocked away at the last second. Intended for Mayo, Johnny Franco. And now, do you look to punt coffin corner, or do you look to go for it here? I prefer to punt at this point, but nobody asked my opinion.
No, and they're going to go. Unless, have we seen a pooch?
By Lalich? Not to my recollection.
That, to me, would be the play. Little pooch by the quarterback. Or
on the sideline. Unbelievable catch by Thomas Mayo, and he has the 1st down inside the 5-yard line. What a throw and catch by Thomas Mayo, one of the key plays in this game. 4th down and 26.
You're punting, I'm pooching. They're throwing for 1st downs.
28 yards. Oh, it's a great catch.
What a grab.
And Franco laid him out, and we've talked about Mayo not hanging on to the ball. All his sins have been absolved with that reception. To hang on to that thing in those circumstances.
And what a throw by Lalich as well.
1st and goal. Knox is in the game for Smith. Jeff Knox.
Oh, right to the goal line.
Yeah, about a yard out. Well, sometimes in football, about 130 snaps in a game. Usually about 120 of them are even. It's the other 10. Who makes the most big plays out of the remaining 10 that wins a football game?
And that was big.
2nd and goal. Knox walks into the end zone for the touchdown, his 7th touchdown of the year, and Cal executes the drive from their own 41-yard line, a 59-yard drive, the big play, a 4th and 26, and a 28-yard completion.
Yeah, just an unbelievable clutch play on that particular 4th down. I thought maybe we'd see a pooch. You were thinking, you know, pin him back with a punt. Nope. That's not what Cal was thinking. They're thinking 7 more, and let's salt this thing away.
Duzo with that 7th point. And Cal taking the football. And, by the way, using up nearly 4.5 minutes on the clock, has taken, at least right now, a commanding 18-point lead at 28-10. Knox with the 1-yard touchdown run. Well, we're concentrating for the moment on Peter Lalich. He's only completed 8 balls today, over 50%, but for 277 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been very effective, but as we pointed out, Stan, in the break, this is the best that the Cows looked in all phases all year, really putting together a real solid game.
Brewer fumbles the kickoff. It's loose. He picks it up, but never gets a chance to get started. The fumble sort of destroyed the timing on the play. It gave Cal an opportunity, James Nixon, to get in behind the wedge and make the tackle. So a long road to hoe, if you will, for IUP, given the way they like to play offense, but still an awful lot of time left in this game.
Plenty of time and plenty of talent there. The scoring drive, Stan, 9 plays, 56 yards. As you pointed out, each up 4.5 minutes, capped off a 1-yard run by the specialist, Jeff Knox Jr. Our scoring drive presented by DPS Penn.
James Johnson, and again, Cal doing a great job on defense against the rush. Brian Justice, Darnell Harding. I got to point out, Greg Cochran wasn't in on the tackle, but watch him play off the block.
Just string it out, turn it in so guys like Justice can be there to make the play. And Johnson, who's been elusive and shifty all day, had absolutely nowhere to turn that into a positive yardage play.
It's a loss of 3 for Johnson, and I think when all's said and done, if things continue this way, if you look at Marcus Cook, we're going to look at IUP's rushing numbers and Cal's rushing numbers as maybe the biggest determinant in today's game. No gain. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Once again, Cal's rush defense, the stars of the game, if you will, Thomas Malaba. What a game he's played. You'd be hard-pressed to come up with a defensive star of the game for Cal.
Yeah, they've all just played so well together, and they are stuffing this vaunted IUP ground attack, and they're winning their one-on-one battles. And it seems like they're doing it across the board, across that line of scrimmage.
There you see Thomas, a 3rd down and 13 from the 18-yard line. Cal's rushed for 138 yards, and IUP only 62. A bit of room there for Johnson, but not nearly enough, and that will force another IUP punt. And you talk about, well, now about 67 yards rushing. Harvey Tuck averages 106 per game by himself, let alone the entire team.
Yeah, they've really dominated by, as you pointed out, they're ranked nationally in stopping the run. That's old school football. You stop the run and you run it effectively, you win football games.
Bad kick by Shalek, this time up the side of his foot, and it goes out of bounds up near the 45-yard line. So a 3 and out, that's the last thing that IUP needed. Cal will take over at their own 48 when we come back. Cal has scored the only touchdown of the 3rd quarter, and here's how it happens. 3rd and 26, a 28-yard completion to Thomas Mayo. Unbelievable throw and catch. And then Jeff Knox with a touchdown, his 7th of the year. That was the touchdown drive, 56 yards. It has Cal up by 18 with a chance with 3:46 to play in the 3rd quarter to really put this thing on ice. No pun intended.
And just seeing that play again by Mayo and Lalich. What an incredible play on 4th down.
Mayo in long motion to the far side. I backfield. Lamont Smith is the deep man. Here's Lamont. He's over 100.
Uh-oh.
And a fumble, and IUP is recovered. He got the ball down to the 41-yard line and very late on the play, and Cal's contending that he was down. But the fumble is recovered by IUP, and just like that, they've got new life.
And he did take one really big hit right at the end of the run. No wonder the ball came out here. Watch the big hit here, and that is a fumble. Neither knee down. Good call by the official, but that's just a big-time hit.
Randy
That's
Lewis,
unfortunate.
Randy Lewis, number 2, made the hit and forced the fumble. The second official turnover. Cal botched a punt attempt too, but the second fumble recovery for IUP. Smith will throw. Again, the pass batted down at the line of scrimmage.
That was, I believe, Crawford again. Big number 99 getting those mitts up. Yeah, I believe he gets a hand up and gets the ball. Wouldn't want to play basketball against that guy.
Big number 99 is 6'4.5" tall.
And he comes after you.
So Smith, who didn't throw at all on the previous possession, comes out throwing on first down, batted down. 2nd and 10. He's 5 for 11. Smith looks, throws in the flat, intended for the tight end Ditto, but it's off his hands and incomplete. And that brings up a 3rd down and 10.
And that was a well-thrown ball. I'm not sure if Ditto was looking behind him. Rontez Miles was in the vicinity. He tends to get your attention, but I mean, if IUP has designs on getting back in his ball game, you got to complete a couple passes.
They might have played against each other in high school.
They had that moment there. I'm sure they did. They had that moment there as kind of a recognition.
Rontez said, "It's me."
Great kid. I know John pretty well. Real good kid.
3rd down and 10. Hand off the tuck inside. They try to catch Cal by surprise, but no surprise there. 4 yards, and it brings up 4th down and 6. So once again, Cal's defense comes up big and covers for its offense, which lost the fumble.
That was a shame. That was a real nice run by Lamont Smith. But, I mean, that was a ball-jarring hit delivered by IUP.
Punt block. Shallot gets it away. What a boomer this is. They'll let that run, and it will go into the end zone. That was over the head of Trey Johnson, and Cal will take over on the touchback at their own 20-yard line. 2:53 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the game just close enough. If you get a fumble down here, something like that, things turn.
Yeah, I would think Cal's going to keep the pedal to the metal here. They want to put this thing away. They're not going to consider this game over. There's still way too much football left to be played here at IUP.
Lamont Smith, who's at 110 yards on the day, had the fumble on his last carry after a good run. Gets it again. Looking for a hole up the middle and doesn't find much of one. Gets a couple of the 22-yard line.
And IUP certainly, although they're not built to pass and come back, they're going to keep battling. They're thinking they can maybe get the ball to be coughed up again, put themselves back in business.
Well, Cal going with a 3 wide receiver set on 2nd down and 8. Love to grind up some clock here. Part of that is using a lot of the play clock, which is now down to 10. You want to use as much as you possibly can. Wallace flat to Smith. 25 and run out of bounds at the 27. It's a gain of 5, nearly 6, and bring up 3rd down and short.
And just a nice safety valve. I'm not sure if that was not the intention all along to dump it off to Smith, but Lalich appeared to go through all his reads. Not sure if he didn't like what he saw downfield, but nice safe little outlet there to Smith.
Important 3rd down conversion. 3rd and a couple. Again, Cal wanting to milk as much of the play clock as they possibly can. Those are seconds that IUP cannot get back for their comeback if there is to be one. Smith driving near the 30, and he's going to be short. And again, Cal with an opportunity to really put a crimp in IUP style, unable to pick up a 1st down, to be 4th down and less than a yard.
Smith did not get off the jump there very well. Stumbled out of his stance and never really got any forward momentum going, and Cal's going to have to give it back to IUP. But right now, the way this Cal defense is playing, I imagine they feel pretty comfortable with any drive that ends in a kick is going to be a good drive for IUP, or excuse me, for Cal. It's either a field goal, a punt, or a point after touchdown. Drives it into with kicks are normally pretty good when you have a lead.
Harris gets off a beauty. Brewer on the return is knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So pretty good exchange there. That's Javon Rowan, who made the punt return number 9, not number 8. Sean Anderson down on the coverage. And so with 39 seconds to play in the third quarter, IUP will start off from its own 36-yard line. Their last 2 possessions have been 3 and out. James Johnson up the middle, got room, 50 into Cal territory and down to the 46-yard line. So perhaps Cal expecting pass. They get James Johnson instead, who picks up big yardage and a first down.
And a nice job by the IUPO line. 18 yards on the gain. And Johnson with great quickness, good in the open field. Leaving your feet like that can lead to turnovers and injuries, but he gets away with it in that instance.
Smith. They had the comeback pattern, but the pass incomplete. Miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver, Ben Simmon, who is a sophomore from North Allegheny High School. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 with 13 seconds to play in the third. Smith now 5 of 13 for 91 yards. Actually, percentage-wise, on the year, he was completing 58% of his passes. Obviously, well below that this afternoon.
They haven't been able to establish the run, which takes away the real effect of play action, so makes it for a long day for the quarterback.
Johnson trying to get outside. He'll not make it.
I love the way he plays that position.
Boy, Rontez Mouse didn't wrap, didn't have to. Just took him out with his shoulder, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So Cal up by 11 at the half. They've expanded their lead to 18. 28-10. The final 15 minutes of football still ahead on the Vulcan Football Network. Cal Vulcan Football 2011. You call Campy's Pizza and get a hot pie, and hot cup of coffee would be just as good too.
They can go ahead and put me in that oven.
IUP 3 for 12 on third down conversions, and that pass incomplete, intended for Brewer. On the coverage, Brian Justice, the PSAC Defensive Player of the Week, brings up 4th and 10, and Cal's done a great job on third down conversions against 3 out of 13 now for IUP.
Yeah, that is no way to sustain anything, especially when you're down. And I got a little text there during the break, Stan, reminding everybody that it was Cal trailing 15-0 with just 9 minutes left last year in a game that Cal came back and won. But as I pointed out to our very popular texter, IUP's not built to come back.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 10. Smith throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Brewer, off his hand, slightly behind him, and the pass falls incomplete. So now, Pat Smith, 5 out of 15, 33%. Got behind him.
And Justice got a piece of it, too. Got a little hand on it. Ball was behind. But now, really incumbent upon that Cal U running game. Let's kill some clock, grind out some yards, and salt this thing away.
Absolutely right. That's what's on the line right now. A long drive, whether you score or not, but eating up some clock just might put this away. Smith, big hole up the middle. Look out, 40. Inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. There's a big chunk right there. What a day for Lamont Smith.
He is just churning out the yards. He has been outstanding. That's his 20th carry, 130 yards. We know he has a 154-yard game against Clarion already this year, but Lamont Smith has been money all day long.
And I would imagine it's helped him a great deal because he's gotten some time. He's not the biggest guy in the world, from Jeff Knox, who spelled him a little bit.
He's spelling him right now.
Knox Stop by. That's a good play by Mark Jackson.
Yes, it was.
Really made a nice play. Maybe a yard to the 36, and we'd be remiss if we didn't honor the front group, and that is Levi Pardee, Devin Cox, Eric Cush, Reshaw Johnson, Chet Welk, Blake Williamson, offensive lineman, being a dumb old offensive lineman myself about 89 years ago before they wore helmets. Those guys have made a difference today.
On both sides of the ball, I think this will come down to when they look at film and check it all out, the real edge, both sides of the ball in that line of scrimmage for Cal has been very, very definitive.
Passing formation for the Vulcans. Lawless looking sideline, and Thomas Mayo got embroiled.
That was so strange.
McFadden, yeah, it really was.
All sorts of contact downfield between Mayo and that's number 3, Jarrell McFadden, but no call. I guess the ball wasn't in the air or wasn't catchable, or
you know what, he could have been called for offensive interference.
I think so.
Play.
I mean, there was blatant contact and no call.
By the way, we have not seen Chedrick Cherry for quite some time, which leads me to believe that he may have aggravated that injury, or they figure, why take the risk? Big game against Edinburgh next week. 3rd down and 10. That stops the clock, obviously. Draw play to Lamont Smith. Cuts inside, still on his feet, down to the 30-yard line, which once again will put Cal in a position to go for it on 4th down. To be 4th down and 3.
I don't know if we're going to look at this again. Yeah, we're going to see. This is a clinic on how to set up a block. Watch him act like he's stepping to the outside and sets up a perfect opportunity for number 51 right there,
Jack Abercrombie,
to deliver the block. And great running backs do a great job of that, setting up their blockers. And that was a perfect job and indication of just having a total clue by Lamont Smith.
We have a flag. Are we going to?
Could be encroachment. I think there was contact.
It was late. The linesman threw the flag very late.
False start. Offense, number 19. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
I mean, that's here on the near side in Mayo, but one of the linebackers actually jumped and I thought made contact with one of the Cal O linemen. And I think Mayo may have seen all that going on and got a little jumpy himself.
Well, he got back, and then one of the Cal players moved. So now it's 4th down and 8. Cal's still going to go for it. No field goal attempt here, but clearly that changes the play call. You've got 3 wide receivers in the game.
If they have 4th down and 27, what's 4th down and 11?
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's nothing. And we were both calling for something else. You wanted a punt. I wanted Lalich to pooch it. And he and Mayo connected on, I think, the play of the game. Play clock's at 0.
And another flag was thrown, but after the penalty was announced, it should have reset to 25 seconds, and it didn't. Officials are responsible for clock management.
Exactly.
Do very well there. In any event, that'll bring on Eric Harris. Trying to hit the corner if he can. Cal and Max protect. Rowan back deep. Punt block is on. Henderson, did he draw the penalty? No. Good acting job. I hope we have that on tape. Eric Harris.
I had a Nedney flashback there for a moment.
He could get the starring role in Black Swan. After that die. Watch this.
He barely gets touched. He does get touched.
Oh, no.
He might have a future in Europe playing soccer.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, you know, there was a little more to it than, but he needed to fall on the contact, not about 5 seconds after. But there was enough contact there. He could have maybe, if he would have reacted a little sooner, pulled one off.
As it is, the ball's down at the 19-yard line. And here come the Crimson Hawks. Smith under pressure, fires, incomplete. Trying to hit his running back, James Johnson, as a safety valve, but the pass falls incomplete. They had receivers deep down the field, took time to develop, nothing open.
Smith's really struggled. I mean, when you're not connecting on the little dump off to the back, you're having a rough day throwing the football. And he has not delivered last 4 or 5 passes on target.
The weather has cleared, and it's not pleasant out there. Don't get me wrong, and the ball's slightly wet, but you got to give Cal's defense some credit. Smith only 5 of 16. He scored IUP's lone touchdown. Tuck up the middle, finds good running room across the 25 to the 27-yard line, which will bring up a 3rd down and 2.
And I'm not sure what tripped Tuck up there, but he had a big hole and a lot of daylight. Kind of fortunate for Cal that Tuck lost his footing there. I'm not sure if anyone got a hand on a foot or an ankle, but he had a lot of room. I thought he was going to keep going for a while.
And you looked at Harvey look up and shake his head like he knew he had a lot more there. He's from Akron, Ohio, and went to the same high school as LeBron James, St. Vincent St. Mary's High School in Akron. 3rd and 2. Tuck drives his way for the 1st down out to the 33-yard line.
I don't know if you give Coach Cignetti and that IUP offense credit. They're sticking to their guns. They run the football, and they at least move the chains on this particular drive. But at some point, they're going to look up and realize they need a couple more scores and don't have any time to get it done.
Yeah, if it's going to take them 3 plays to get a 1st down, Cal is more than happy to give them that. Down 18, 3 scores. Run again. Fumble. Johnson picks it out of air. That seed popped right up in the air, and he's fortunate to get it. And Johnson is down. Strong hit. Eric Harris came up, as did Sean Anderson.
He has to be the hardest hitting punter in the PSAC, Eric Harris. That is a big time pop right there. That's Anderson that delivered the blow that kept Johnson down on the turf for a little bit. But he's up and appears to be okay.
Johnson now 13 carries, 57 yards. Cal's done a terrific job of controlling the IUP ground game, and that's rapidly leaving their arsenal. 2nd down and 8, 10.5 to play. Another run.
That's a new back in there, Stan. That is number 30, I believe, Teddy Blakeman. I believe he's from Penn Hills.
All right, Blakeman with the carry. But again, valuable seconds tick off the clock. And I'm a little surprised that, and I'm sure they have it in their arsenal, that IUP is not using a hurry up.
No,
at least call the play at the line of scrimmage.
You're wondering where the sense of urgency is.
Third and 7. Another run. Blakeman tackled for a loss in the backfield by Spencer Lynn.
Well, Spencer for hire right there. He's having a day.
The loss is a couple. And on 4th down and 8, IUP ostensibly will punt again.
And as funny as it sounds, you should even be in a hurry to do this. You need to save as much time as you can when you're down.
8th punt for Shalek. He's a good punter. Johnson wants to hold on to the football. The yardage is less important than possession. And Cal will, again, with an opportunity to put this game away, will take over at their own 30-yard line with 9:13 to play in regulation. Smith cuts inside right tackle to the 38, where it'll be 3rd down and 2. And Ched Cherry is back in the game, Paul. That's a good sign. Number 6. He's got a touchdown pass today.
Yeah, made a big impact. That touchdown was huge. I believe 44 yards. And Ched missed all of last week, so having him back and healthy is a big part of this Cal offense.
Smith, 144 yards, season high 154. And another important 3rd down conversion attempt by Cal. Smith lowers his head and drives his way.
He's got it.
I think he does. You're right, Paul. He's got it out to the 41, and beyond that, So that'll be good for a Cal first down, another fresh set of downs, and another 2-3 minutes on the clock.
You know, it's just amazing how at 185 pounds, the power with which he runs.
I think you mentioned it earlier. It's his ability to accelerate quickly. And so he drives into defenders.
He gets to full speed probably more quickly than any back I've seen in quite some time.
Single set backfield, double tight end, and Knox is the running back behind Lawler. Knox against the grain, 45-50, and short of the first down, but a gain of 9 to the 50-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 1.
And you get the sense those are his kind of runs. There's a nice hole off the left side. He doesn't really like to get all finesse and make people miss. He wants to go hard, straight ahead, and then finally when there's contact, he seeks it, and he enjoys it.
See how he covered up the ball with both hands and lowered his shoulder and said, someone's going to pay here, and it's not going to be me.
Here I come. He's a big, strong back, too.
2nd and a yard. Wallace stumbles, but gives to Knox, and Knox takes it to the 46, and that's good for another Cal first down.
And this is when you're on the wrong end of a score like this, and you're on the defensive side, this is painful.
And it's cold, and it's damp.
You're on your home field, arch rival, and just willing their way to first downs. And look at Knox knocking it out, 79 yards. He earns every one of them.
He does have a touchdown today, and that's his career high, by the way. Started the season as a second-string defensive back, and he's such a big, strong, powerful back. They started using him on the goal line. This is the most extensive play for scrimmage he's got. Knox just running downhill and running people over to the 39-yard line.
There's not a better circumstance or situation than there is right now to give him the football.
Alex Berdahl, the leading tackler on IUP number 43, makes the stop, but pickup of 6 on first.
On the day, 209 yards on the ground, just 110 for IUP. And Stan, I think that is the most glaring difference in this ball game.
And as you pointed out, you run the ball like that, let this be a lesson to everybody, it opens up your passing game.
Not sure who that was directed at, Stan.
No, could be anybody. Just throwing it out there.
Just saying.
Just saying. 3rd down and 1. And if Cal's able to convert here, this is what you'd like to see of a championship caliber football team. When you have an opportunity to close things out, you close things out.
Well, you get into that 4-minute offense, as we hear so much about, and that's where you need to just move the chains, kill clock, and that's what Cal is really intending on doing right here.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards for the first down. Knox has got the first down and drives his way near the 30-yard line. So the 3rd consecutive first down in this drive, all on the ground.
Stan, this drive started with 9:13 on the clock. We're down to 4:11 on what's soon going to be a running clock. And that is what the doctor ordered from Cal's perspective.
Using a double tight end setup with Williamson, Justin Schaefer, and Chase DiCarlo. Just pounding their way to a victory, which would make them 7-2 overall, and more importantly, keep them in 2nd place by themselves in the PSAC West, keep their hopes alive for an NCAA Division II playoff bid. Knox driving forward, picking up 5, sometimes 6 yards at a clip, down to 3.5 to play in the game.
And they have basically broken the will of that IUP squad right now. That O-line, this one, those guys are just having a ball.
Yeah,
they're going to run it on every play. They fire out. They take people out. And I think Knox is having the time of his life right now, getting it on almost every carry.
Well, you saw the smiles on the Cal sideline. This is a huge game for them. Huge game for both teams. And to come in here and win it convincingly after they fell behind 3-0. Knox again. It's a couple to the 24. 3rd down and 3. More importantly, the numbers that matter, 2:40 to play.
And IUP sitting on 2 timeouts. I think they understand the circumstance as well. Kind of admire that. The white flag has kind of been raised. And that puts Knox up over the century mark. A couple of backs over 100 yards. You're not going to lose many games with 2 backs over 100 yards.
And remember, this IUP team was ranked in the top 20 nationally in Division II in giving up yards per game on the ground. Timeout. Cal calls the timeout. 2:07 to play in this game, and 3.
And we get a flag. Not sure what's going on here.
Maybe the
Too many men.
commercial break was too long.
Illegal substitution. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still for 3rd down.
Boy,
Well, they're going to run it on 4th down anyway, no matter what happens. So
but not good when you come out of a timeout with 12 men.
Cal's advantage has not been 12 versus 11. It's been their offensive line versus the IUP defense. By the way, IUP will have an opportunity to get even next week. They play at Lock Haven. Cal will be at home. Edinburgh will be on the air with that one at 3:30 for you. So hope you'll join us to see the Vulcans against the Fighting Scots of Edinburgh.
What the?
Overtime, both of them to these 2 teams playing today.
Yeah, now another real close one to Slippery Rock.
3rd and 8.
They got the playoff. That's good.
Knox inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, where presumably they will go for it on 4th down.
And there it is, Stan. That's what it's all about. The Coal Bowl Pail.
Yeah,
And
for
for
the
the
3rd year in a row, it's going to go to the Cal Vulcans.
IUP is yet to experience the euphoria of a Coal Bowl Pail.
They may not have wanted after Ross Vecchio was holding it. 4th and 2.
He's kind of like the keeper of the cup.
That's right.
Ross.
That's why he made the trip.
Where are the white gloves?
That's right. Not this time. Knox stopped cold. No gain. That'll hand the ball over on downs to IUP with 1:19. They do have 2 times out remaining, but that's not going to matter. Not now.
What a solid, complete performance by Cal today.
They ran the ball. They threw the ball. They really
defended.
took away IUP's primary offensive weapon overall, the ground game, in particular Harvey Tuck, who's in there now. Smith incomplete. Looking for Rowan. Javon Rowan has not caught a pass today, and he came into the game as the leading receiver for IUP. So again, passing not IUP's thing, but he is their leading receiver and has not caught a ball yet today.
Ken's calling you a liar, says he has 1.
He does have 1? All right.
They've got on you for half a yard. Now 1 catch. Tough to please.
I couldn't read the stat because there was a gob smear all over it.
1 gob remains. Ken has killed about 11.
Oh, that'll never make the post game.
No. Boy, they are good, though. I had 1. I always have 1. It's the season for a pumpkin gob, is it not?
Perfect. All Hallows Eve tomorrow, Halloween.
Felt like a pumpkin snowball today. Jeez.
3rd down, Harvey Tuck, padding his stats, not doing much more than that at this point. Gets the 1st down to the 41-yard line.
hoping to feel my feet again by this time next week.
Well, the weather's supposed to be better tomorrow. We get some of these sometimes. I can remember some Halloween storms
Oh,
in
yeah,
the past.
absolutely.
Incredible, really. Pat Smith awaiting the call from the sideline if they decide to run a play, and it doesn't look like they will. And that is going to be it. They're all big, but given the circumstances, that is Cal's biggest win of the season. Keeps them alive in the PSAC West and keeps them alive for a playoff spot. With today's win, Slippery Rock clinched the Western Conference. But Cal very much alive now, and they'll have to continue winning with a game against Edinboro next Saturday.
Fighting Scots.
Cal,
Dan.
the Fighting Scots. Well, Cal survived, so did we, Paul.
We did. We snuck into another venue that was not a home one. We're proud of that.
Plenty of kudos to go around. Cal defeats IUP. The final today, Cal 28, IUP 10.